Hello, long time no see. Welcome to the dream stream of consciousness with Dreamstresses Yiskah Cook and Ellen Ronis. And I'm really so glad to be back doing dreams with you, dream work with you. I've been lost without you.
Well, it's been a really weird time in general, but yeah.
I'm kidding, but I also
No,
have.
I understand. You're kidding, but also, also, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah, it's really good to be back, and I needed a bit of a break, and
I get it.
yeah, yeah.
How's your dream life these days?
Well, interestingly, in the last couple of days since we've decided to come back together here, I have been really paying attention,
Yes,
and the learning lesson in the dream world of that is, the more you pay attention, the more you remember your
that's
dreams,
right. And
and the
every
more
time.
potent, yeah, yep, and then the more potent your, kind of soul exploration can be. So, so yeah, I woke up with a dream this morning,
I
and yeah, yeah.
Would you share it with us,
Shall
please?
I share? Sure. I didn't even write it down. So let's see. I was with an old friend from Brooklyn and Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. Jennifer Aniston was in my dream, and the two of them were like together, like they were like buddies. And I think we were at a party or something, and we're kind of like laying around, like on a couch or something, and Jennifer said to me like something about, oh yeah, I can see you're getting like a turkey neck or something like that. Because I think I might have said to her, oh, it looks like maybe you're going gray or something. And so she came back at me with that like little poke. It made me feel so self-conscious and so angry. I was so angry. I was like, oh God, why do I even want to hang out with these people? And and then at some point, like they were going somewhere. It was kind of like we were all hanging out together, but I was a little bit like the little sister who's tagging along.
Hmm.
Yeah, kind of. And then I said, oh, wait, I forgot my phone and kind of made them wait for me and couldn't find my phone. It took much longer to go wherever I needed to go to find it. And I definitely was having that like anxious feeling of,
Yes.
I don't really belong with them. I don't really belong with them. And yeah, and why am I even trying to belong with them?
I have a couple of clarifying questions, if I may.
Sure. Yeah.
So, if I'm the dreamer, is this all taking place in Brooklyn? That's what I have the feeling this is all happening in Brooklyn.
I don't really know. I really just don't have any idea where the party actually is, or the gathering.
And at what age and stage in your life were you when you were friends with this woman from Brooklyn?
Yeah, probably when I was in, let's see, when did I live there? Mid 30s, early mid 30s,
Okay.
into 40 something.
Hmm.
And I guess I will let's see. Yeah, we were very close. And she actually knew Jennifer Aniston, I think they went to the same like the arts high school or something in New York City. They went to school together there for a short while, so I think they knew each other a little bit. Um, yeah, yeah.
Can't even make fun of you because I think I've also dreamed about Jennifer Aniston.
I mean, that was a first for me. I don't,
I know of her because she went to a Waldorf school. She did Waldorf.
oh,
So I was always interested in her career because of that, being a Waldorf teacher.
uh-huh.
So now this when I say to Jennifer, if I'm the dreamer, oh, your hair is getting grayer. What are your thoughts about that? What was your
Well, I suppose, I mean, in the way of looking at a dream where we're sort of each part of the dream, I could look at it
absolutely,
that way. Then I
absolutely.
would say that that's me.
Yes.
that I'm turning 65 next month and I'm starting to have little teeny gray hairs. I mean, this is all my natural color. I don't have gray.
You are a late to
I'm
gray.
a
Late.
late bloomer in that way. Yeah. But I think it's not about the gray hair as much as the
Sure.
age,
I feel
noticing the
similarly.
aging
Not
process.
about the turkey neck. It's about aging.
Yeah, it's about aging and
This-
it gets real. It gets real,
That's
in the mid
real.
60s. It's like, whoa, okay, this is really happening and there's nothing
Yeah.
you can do about it for the most part. So, I mean, I think there's something to that, although I'm not like feeling stressed out about that in this very moment, but I certainly have had that stress of, wow, that just is the realness of the aging process.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I can think of. And it was very like a flippant, not a flippant, it was very, it wasn't like a real criticism. It was kind of just a noticing. It was
Yeah.
just a noticing. I had no judgment about it, but she came back at me with a
Yeah.
jab.
So that feels
Um,
weird,
yeah, yeah, that was really like, what? Wow. Like I wasn't even stressed about that.
right? Like, oh, you're
So,
gray like me, here I'm talking to myself about myself turning gray. Um, that is an interesting. I'm going to look at that feeling because that's an interesting feeling. Like I'm just saying it, no judgment, and then she's coming back at me as if it was taken as an insult or an attack.
yeah, yeah.
So there's something in that, and I'm wondering that feeling, does that parallel anything from waking life?
Yeah, yeah. I can see myself reflected in her character in the dream a little bit, where it's like it's almost a defensiveness. It's almost as if I don't want to really excuse me, see what's real. Like, you
Mm.
know, yes, something about like if the jabbing is kind of like if I'm her, um and I'm jabbing like at myself, it's almost like, if I jab at myself first and say it first, then I can protect my sensitivities of being judged. I know
Mm.
that's really deep psychological stuff, but that's where I like to go with all of
Yeah,
these
I know. With
things.
my deep friend. Okay, let's go there.
To me, it's not worth looking at if
I
I don't
feel the
engage with
same.
it.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
So, so yes, but I was more thinking, if I'm the dreamer, have I been the recipient of somebody else's jabs when I didn't, where I was so misunderstood, when I was just saying something, I was so misunderstood, and then what I feel like was attacked.
I mean, when you say that, I can feel the ouchie of that, but I don't have like a particular memory so I'm sure that that's been done.
Or
I'm sure that,
Robert Moss always said when he does the reality check, has any of this happened or can any of this happen? So sure,
yeah,
I can imagine feeling that way
sure.
in my life.
Of course, right. Somebody saying something where
Interaction.
you're a little shocked by the feeling of being judged or misunderstood. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
This is what
Yeah.
happens when we speak from the heart with people, that sometimes,
Well, that's why I like the sort of being straightforward,
yeah.
being just straightforward and from the heart. It's like if you say something that is a criticism, quote unquote, but if you say it like it's like it matters to you that this person is doing a thing that's maybe not okay. It's not a judgment. Then it's just a feedback.
Mhm.
Yeah, rather
Yeah.
than rather than a jab. But anyway,
Mhm.
I also think there's something interesting to me about their friendship, like and pardon me, like why them? Why did my psyche pick them? That's always a curious thing.
Central casting. Why is
Yes,
central
casting.
casting chosen these?
Hello, what's the deal? Yeah, well, she was a very important person in my life at a certain period of time, and she is. Uh, yeah, this part is just not important to say, but she was very important to me. We were very, very close friends, And I think I see her today as a person who's really successful, who's really moved forward. Who knows whether she just appears that way. She's doing things. She's doing things in the world, and um, and seeming to follow her passion. And I think that's a place where I've been kind of a little uh, stuck. Not knowing exactly what is my passion and where I want to put my energy at this point in my life. Excuse me, we have so many allergens flying around
Here
right
too. I know I'm chesty.
now. So forgive me for that, but
Yes.
that's the way it is. Um,
Now, with
yeah,
these qualities, I'm sorry, forgive me for interrupting, but this was 35 years ago that Dreamer knew this woman, yes? Or 30
more
years
like
ago.
20 years ago,
Okay.
like less than 20 years
Were
ago.
those the qualities that you saw in her that you felt like you wanted to emulate or something?
Yeah, I always saw those qualities in her, and I appreciated being around that energy, of kind of I mean, she was also like a deep diver,
Yeah.
emotional, and we related on that level, but also, yes, the sort of way in which she seems to keep on keeping on. It's funny. I feel like it's a quality of a certain astrological sign. And I'm being a little bit, I don't want to, say specifically who or whatever, but there's a certain, there is a way, there is something in that energy that I am drawn to even now, that there
Mhm.
are people who seem to, not flit about all over the place, which is what I do. And that's okay too. But I, but I think that I'm looking for and longing for a grounded um, position to move forward and then move forward again and then move forward again instead of sideways and back and up and down. So there is something in her, in that quality of her,
Yes.
is a reason that I picked her, I think, in the dream, that
Yeah.
there's like a kind of I don't know, almost like a, yeah, like a, yeah, there's something that I feel like I can really relate to, that I have in me somewhere, and I'm longing to just find the something that will help me, you know. And yeah, I don't know why I picked Jennifer Aniston, or why the two of them together, or maybe it's the insecurity, in me that says, oh, I'm not on that high level, like, I mean, Jennifer Aniston is like this crazy famous whatever, actor person, spokesperson, actor,
I have a projection, if I may. The way that Dreamer described Friend in Brooklyn is the way that I would describe Jennifer Aniston in my mind. Like, she
Oh,
started, I mean, she got great fame right from the start, with Friends being on TV, but that she didn't stop there. She keeps moving forward. And I never was a Friends watcher, but I've seen her in so many movies now. And she's a comedic actress. She's just done so many things. And the way that you were describing the
yeah.
Brooklyn, it's almost exactly how I would describe Jennifer Aniston. So it's almost like rungs of like, well, like what is fame?
Hmm.
What does that mean? I mean, to me, these days, fame means that people are like, we know people who are famous, but they don't know us unless we meet them, but it just seems like disconnect somehow.
Hmm.
Uh, and I felt that in the dream also. It felt like myself and the friend from Brooklyn, and then also then this person who's maybe on the other side of the screen. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I've been
Hmm.
thinking about that. It's interesting.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's like, I guess I'm hearing like maybe there's like an untouchable quality a little bit. Like
Yes,
over there's something it's almost as if I think I can't also do that. Like, I have no interest in being famous.
right.
But that's not really the point. That, if I look at the symbolism of what is fame, like what you were just riffing on, like, yeah, I mean, maybe the reason I have no interest in it is because there is a disconnect. It's like this person on a screen who's over there that we sort of kowtow to and think is just so, or so, not that I kowtow
Or
to.
culture,
Yeah,
culture kowtows too.
yes, our culture does exactly like that. There's something so like to be ordinary. Okay, we're getting
Okay.
to something now. Like as if being ordinary, whatever that even means, isn't enough to just simply be the person that we came in being. That's the bottom line for me, I think, because I have been really, really exploring that concept of beingness. Like just is it okay that I just am this? It's like this. And that's really profound, to me. And so interesting that I had a dream about somebody who's I don't know, who's I don't even know what to say about it. Like it's just not that. It's just not is the opposite of that. It's something that our culture, seems to strive towards something always bigger and always better and more
Always out of reach.
hmm?
Always out of
A
reach.
little out of
A
reach and a
little
little
out of
also
reach.
touch, like you said. I mean, not that she herself is out of touch as a human,
No, oh yeah,
but she's out of touch to me,
yes.
right? Yeah, like I can't quite get that. I can't get there. And that is the flavor. Thank you for that riff, because that's taking me to like now it is a little bit of the flavor of the dream was that the two of
Plus
them
that, yes.
feels like, and interestingly, I do feel right now this friend, we're not, we're not so close now, but she's like a, Facebook friend, and I see her what she's up to and stuff, and I can see that she almost feels out of touch to me at this point.
Interesting.
And not because of being famous or well known or anything like that, but there's just an energetic something that makes me feel like I don't quite relate. And I don't know what the meaning of that is, but it just feels like the two of them in that they were together, both feeling like a little out of touch for me, a little out of reach.
I
And
really
yet I wanted to. I wanted to tag along and
yes,
wait for me, whole, that kind of thing.
yes. Let's talk about that. So, you're not a little si oh, you're a little sister.
I
You-
am a little sister.
Yeah, but you're also a big sister.
Sister.
So, because this feels like the little sister thing. Well, I mean, I was always chasing after nipping at my sister's heels, like, wait for
Uh-huh.
me. I just
Yeah.
have to get my, and then,
Right.
I'll do something that makes it so they don't want to take me or whatever reason.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
sister syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't really have that with my sister. I think she and I like really didn't like each other kind of when we were younger. We love each other now. But I think in some ways we were different. We were really different personalities, but in some ways there was competition kind of feeling. And so the way I dealt with it was I just left. I just was like, you do your thing. I'm going to do a whole different thing. I just, that kind of,
I recognize the avoidance.
yes,
We're
yes.
super similar in so many ways. I would just wanted to say I've been watching a lot of spiritual teachers on YouTube and so much wisdom. If we looked for it, wow. And
Definitely.
and it seems that a common thing everyone is saying is you don't need to do anything. Like like we don't need to do anything. And the fact that we have a passion to do something, this might be me paraphrasing, that weren't we just talking about what we do because we're passionate to do it and what we do as like a as a servant as an act of service, you know?
Hmm.
So so it's for me it was important to kind of get more clear on that. And I guess I still have to get a little more clear on that. But we don't really need to do anything. But I want to do A, B, C, and D, and I can't believe I haven't done this yet, and I'm already this age, and what
Right.
am I doing with my life? But isn't it? It's just all about know thyself, human. Know
Yeah. Yeah.
thyself. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. Not
100%.
achieve, not, you know, just know thyself.
Yeah. And I really do think that that comes with time, especially in our culture that is so, I'm going to say masculine in a way. It's so much about doing and it's so much about producing.
Yes.
making things happen, and that sort of very yeah, just that. And it's not a feminine approach for sure, because feminine is really about being. And I really think that if you're caught up in the enculturation, which I think in a lot of ways we all are, we're going to beat ourselves up for not doing enough.
Right.
We're going to feel like a loser when stuff. And and it really, it's like, it's exactly right that we really don't have to do anything. That is really, that's kind of what I was saying about the beingness.
Yes, I hear
I
you.
am I'm working with whatever. I am sort of connected with this spiritual teacher too, who's so much about this, and she'll say, I am, and it's like this. And it's just like, oh,
Sorry, say more about that.
I am. I am.
I am.
And it's like this. It's like this. I have a feeling. I have whatever it is. It just is. It's like this.
Mhm.
It's not a big deal that we make up stories, and it's all about what we tell ourselves in our mind. Our mind is very like, woof, very smart, very sharp, very, critical, very, you know,
Mhm.
wants to beat us up for not doing enough and all that. Our minds are the thing that tells us that we're not enough, or that we should have done something because we're a certain
No,
age.
I don't think so.
We're
Our
having a feel
mind,
because it means like whatever, a story. Like sometimes I'll feel
our negative thoughts.
yeah, it's not even it's just it's the story that we tell about that thing,
Yes,
right? Like sometimes I
absolutely.
feel down. Oh my God, I'm just, oh my God, I'm this the story about the depression, or the story about the anxiety makes it 1,000 times worse. And if I can just meet it and say, oh, I'm kind of feeling like that. Hmm, it's
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Like this right now in this very second, this very moment. It's like this.
Yes.
It's no big deal whether
That's
I feel sad, or I feel, or I didn't do the thing, or I did do the thing. And the more we can do that, and I'm speaking obviously from a place of not there yet, but
yeah, striving. This comes
obviously,
from striving.
just I am human after all. But the more we can um, acknowledge that present, like observe, like
Yes.
witness that very moment. It's like this right now. It's an observance of the moment that we are in. I'm having this feeling. It's like this. No story, no nothing, no background, no future. I mean, God, is that hard, right? But that is the work. That's the only work I feel like I want to be doing right now. Because from that place of wholeness in our heart, of being right there with whatever, is where things can grow out of. It's
Mhm.
where the action can be taken from. Not from this, oh my God, I have to take an action because I'm such a loser because I didn't do it yet, because the culture wants me to be something that I'm not, or you know.
Yeah, it's all the criticisms that we pick up from our culture, maybe
Yes.
repeat to ourselves. And this is
Yeah.
give me I have to take my medicine. Um so it's yeah, I think, but I take issue with calling it your mind because I feel like the mind is so much bigger. The mind is what tells us we only know consciousness, we only know reality, quote unquote, through how our mind perceives it. I feel like the mind encompasses so much more.
Sure.
So I wanted to call that like your negative training or whatever.
Yeah, I guess yes, that's true. Like our minds, somebody once said to me, you have such a good mind, but put it in the back seat. Like call upon it when you really need the mind to do the technical things, to make make certain decisions, right? Like you're right, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
our mind is a wonderful thing, and
Yeah.
it's actually what makes us human,
Mhm.
right?
Right?
Because we all have consciousness, we all have that, like all beings have that, but not all beings have a mind the way humans have, for the better or the worse of it.
That's
So,
true. I
so
think
yeah,
I'm thinking of mind wider. This it feels like that's like not, we use more of our brain, right, than
right.
maybe than most other mammals or we don't know about the
That's what I'm
octopus.
saying for sure.
The
Yeah.
octopus might be ahead of us. We don't really know about that. But but yeah, it feels like I guess what was I just hearing? It's like, we know that matter is slowed down energy, right? And I mean, I wouldn't even know how to express it because, like you, I'm still grokking this also. It seems like everything is energy. And so really
Mhm.
how each of us thinks about the world. That's why I love the dream work, projective dream work. This is why I love it. Because if it were my dream, I would feel this. And I'm coming from my perspective, but depending on how many people are in your dream circle or who you share with, we are getting all different perspectives. And so I really love that. You get the perspective from the artist, you get the perspective from the nurse or doctor, you get the perspective from the teacher, anyone. So I guess I'm just saying I think there's so much. I guess I'm putting it in the word of mind, but I could just as easily put it in the word of God, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Right, right. And that makes me think of the opposites, right? Like that there's the big, the grand, and the, very small. There's the up and the down, like all the different, what one sees as it's like a reflection, I don't know, what am I saying? Um, you can't have one without the other, right? So you can't, if you don't know what it is to experience your mind, toiling and roiling.
Yes.
We don't really then even understand or can get a sense of that the peace of,
Stillness.
right, the still, the inner stillness of like not that, the not that.
Mhm. The no thing.
No thing, right. My teacher, whose name, by the way, I'll say is Jeannie Zandy. I love her so much. She's just, yeah, she's got, I don't know if she has YouTube videos. I think she does actually. But she has you can go to her website and she has little free workshops and things. She's just wonderful. Just a pure presence, very, yeah, and very human. She's not a
Yeah.
guru. She's not she doesn't teach any particular spiritual dogma. She just is. And anyway, what was I going? Oh, she'll say things like "me" and "not me." It's like she calls it the holy work. So the holy is God, if you want to call it that. So it's like the me, which is me, Ellen in her mind, in her stories, in her whatever emotions, and then there's the not me, which is if I would say God.
It transcends me.
Trance, exactly. And so can I get in, can I bow to the not me and remember that I don't have control. Ellen, my mind is very smart and very good, but it doesn't have control over how anything really goes. It's a tool, it's a wonderful tool to
Yeah.
create, to make things happen that want to happen, but it's not like the only, yeah, thing.
Mm. Thank you. I think I'll look her up on YouTube.
Yeah, she's love her.
I love your perception and advice. So I might too.
Thank
So
Yeah, I very much resonate with her, which I think
yeah,
is why
I hear you.
she says is really works, sort of how I feel. So,
Yes,
um,
yes. I was
quite a
also
rich,
thinking, sorry, I was thinking as above, so below. It's
yeah.
as above, so below. There's this greater thing than me, than not me, and then there's the me,
Mhm. Yes, exactly. Right.
reflecting back. As you said, reflecting? Maybe not.
Um, don't know if I said that, but that works.
It feels.
Yeah. Um, Me and not me. Yeah. I don't know how that ties into the dream, but just I guess, in the dream world, we're not really in our minds, we're in our
Subconscious.
conscious. It's like the part that's even underneath any kind of awareness.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just something that comes up. And then, I think even in the telling of the dream or the exploration of the dream, am I in my mind, my Ellen mind, or am I, in the witness? It's, even in the
Oh,
exploration
yeah.
of things, it's like what
Yeah,
part of
that's a good
me?
question.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it is. It is. Because I think that's so okay. Here's how I can tie it into the dream work in general is that that's one of the reasons why we share our dreams, which
yes,
we talk about so much. Like, why is it good to share dreams?
yes.
Is because when I tell a dream in the conscious waking world, and I'm telling the dream that was in something very subconscious, then I am in my mind. I'm in my mind. I'm telling the story as my Ellen mind.
Mhm.
So I'm always going to sort of look at it the same way or look at it in that, you know, it's not easy to tell that kind of to say a dream from that really deep unconscious place. So we need each other to
That's
sort of
right. Uh,
back and reflect, right?
Working with other people can bring one
Right.
to
Yes.
a deeper place of understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can see it more easily than I can, what is the observer, right? The observer, the witness, the awareness kind of thing.
And the teller sort of steps into both roles, the dreamer and the witness, the teller and witnessing it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask you, is there anything else you would like to know about this dream?
I guess it's interesting to me just that, I had the dream like right now, and this,
Right.
especially since I haven't remembered a dream in quite a long time. Um, and I'm wondering, what is the significance of this particular dream in this particular moment in my life? Um, and I know that's a big question, but that's definitely, and it's a question that I almost always want to know, like, how is this related to my life? What is the message? What am I needing to see? What do I not see in my waking life that this is illustrating? And you know,
I love that the dream comes just, and it's probably part and parcel, just as you're um, valuing the messages of your dreams again. So then the stream comes. Okay, she's paying attention. Central casting. Yeah, we've got them lined up. Okay, choreography. Let's do it. And I love it because you're such a deep dreamer and dream worker. This should always be this, and one can know this is and for myself as well, this is an important part of my my work and my becoming and my unfolding
yes, 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 yes. Doing the dream work, you mean?
in the dream work. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
specifically, there's many ways. There's many ways
mhm,
to explore one's self
sure,
and
sure.
but this for me is so rich. And I think that is so for you as well. And I think your dream is showing you, see, we'll come back. You'll
Uh-huh.
remember again, but you gotta
Yeah.
first you're interested.
Yes, I mean just that I had a dream. Yeah, yeah. You know. I'm sure there's more to the specifics of that, and like how it's going with my own life. And, maybe it's just about going my own way, like seeing that I'm doing that and it's uncomfortable where I'm kind of like, wait for me. I want to be part of the cool girls, It was kind of a little bit like that. I want to be part of the cool girls because
For
they're
me,
doing,
yes. Oh, yes.
it's like, how about like, I'm just going to be cool in my own damn small way,
Yeah,
you know? And when I say small, I don't know if it's small, but quieter way, just being the beingness of me, I think that's what feels significant to me in my life at this moment in time. It's just to be, to be with
love it
what's meaningful to me and let that be enough.
so much.
Yeah.
You've offered a great sense of peace to me and to the listeners. And I still feel
Hmm.
like I'm nipping at the heels of like my Brooklyn sister, and she's nipping at the hands of Jennifer Aniston. I feel like but
Yeah.
I don't need
That's an
to do
interesting.
that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because that's what I
Yeah.
was
That's
feeling like as a little
smart.
sister syndrome,
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting that she's nipping at the heels of her and I'm nipping at the heels of the
That's
other.
what I
It's
was
like,
saying, it's like the rungs,
yes.
like,
Yes. Thank you for that. That's a really interesting reflection too, that we're all like scurrying, trying to be something we're not maybe, or trying to be
uh,
somebody better, bigger, more
yes,
whatever.
love
Yeah.
that.
And it's like, no, no. My observer self says, nope, I don't want to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for being willing to, reflect in the depths of all that.
And thank you so much. And yes, I hope people got a lot out of this as I did, and I hope you'll keep dreaming, and I hope we can meet again on the dream stream of
Yes, definitely. And
consciousness.
I'd love to know, I mean, I don't know whether we have time today, but maybe next time, I'd love to hear what's been going on in your dream world and
Well, I
to
did
hear.
make a video, a little short video about that. So I
Uh-huh.
wanted to encourage everyone, come to our channel on YouTube. And I've made a number of shorts about lucid dreaming or dreaming of our deceased loved ones or dreaming of our totem animals. And also I shared a dream, and I'd love anyone's comment in our projective sharing of meaning, of possible meanings and what it might mean for me.
Yeah,
So
wonderful.
please
And
do check
how
that
can they
out.
get, how can people get there? What's the name of
Dream
the?
Stream of Consciousness. It's on YouTube. You could also put my name, Yiskah, Yiskah, and Ellen. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna look and see. But as far as I would just like, I would love it if people could project on the images that I shared, because it's all about pregnancy and then almost like being reborn, but
Mhm.
it's also like the fertilizer of that.
Yes, I did watch it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to talk about it if people haven't seen it yet. So, but
Right. So
um,
just write,
yeah,
please. That'd be
yes,
a good
and
gift to me.
yeah. So, Dream Stream of Consciousness is the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Go check
And
us out.
I'm so sorry that I can have my glasses on my head. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know. That's us. So I hope
Mhm.
you enjoyed it. I
That
hope
is
you
us.
find
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And
Come, continue. Yeah, we'll hopefully we're continuing to create and deepen and wisen or wizen. How do you say that word? Wizen.
I think in the
There's a
past tense you say wizened.
wizened. Okay, so
No, I've never heard
we're
wizened, but
yeah, we're wisening. I don't know.
uh,
We're we are well, and I'm older than you, Yiska. So I feel like I'm turning 65. So I feel like I'm officially turning into a sage crone.
I just turned 55.
You're 55, right? So we're 10 years
I'm
apart. That's
also,
actually a big difference. I mean,
well, it is,
you know,
but
yeah.
I mean, I'm still the kid I was at 7.
Doesn't it always seem like that, right? You're like, huh? What is
I pray that we can all have some semblance of being in touch with, and we say our inner child, and that sounds, I'll use a term of yours, so woo woo. What does that mean,
oh,
inner child?
yeah.
But really it's just remembering who someone is when they were a kid and tapping back into that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. The actual person you were when you were that age is still
Yeah.
in.
It's
Yeah,
still in you. Yes.
absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly. Yeah, sometimes we need to remember it. Maybe we'll remember it with dreams. So
Yeah. So, well, yeah,
be continued.
be continued.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
again so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. And yeah.
Olamode Metukim.